As our climate is changing, more and more kids and teens are starting to feel anxious and unsure about the future. Joining us to talk about climate anxiety, we have our health expert and licensed therapist, Dr. Sheryl Ziegler. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, climate anxiety. Can you fill people in? What are we talking about here?
Yes, for anyone who thinks like, what is this now? This is something that's actually been studied for about at least a decade.
Yeah.
So climate anxiety is the way that people feel when they think about the current situation with climate change, and also how they feel about their future, like that it's doomed, that we're going to run out of water, that the earth is getting too warm, those kinds of things. So it's real anxiety around the fear around the temperature and the weather.
You know, so much of the decision making is left with adults who are focused on it. You might think climate anxiety is something more prevalent with adults. Why are we seeing it more and more with kids?
That's a great question, and they've been asked that. And so what they report, and so when we're talking about kids, we're also talking about young adults.
Okay.
So we're talking, maybe college and high schoolers. And what they say is that they are concerned that the Mother Earth that they are inheriting is way worse than what their parents had to deal with, and that they are the ones that have to come up with these solutions, and they don't know that they have the solutions.
Right, because it's a giant thing, and one generation isn't gonna fix it. You know, when I talk to experts, what you said reminds me of so much of the conversation is that doom and gloom that you forget in the middle that there are things that all of us can be doing, whether it's a little step or a big step to actually try to mitigate some of the damage, and that gets lost. But could that help ease up some of the emotions and the feelings, knowing that it's not game over?
Absolutely. So again, this has been researched, and what they find, and it generally is with anxiety, is you want to do something. So we want to encourage youth or young adults who are feeling this way to get involved. They can become activists of sorts. They can clean up trash. There's something called pop-up parks that they can create. They can get educated. They can educate other people. They can seek therapy if needed. And online, there are resources and tools really specifically for youth to get involved and get something started at their school. So it's a great way to do something with all that anxiety, because anxiety is excessive worry.
Right. I could see that being like a release of okay, I did something,
Yes.
and I can ease my mind a little bit. Is there something to be said about, age-appropriate conversations around this for kids, or are we talking about like an older group of children?
No, I think that it's an elementary school thing. I know my own son came home from fourth grade just last week and said, "Do you think the water is going to run out?"
Wow.
And then started asking me a lot of questions, like how much water do we use? And so they're teaching kids this in elementary school. And so for now, I wouldn't say that I saw anxiety within him, but the more and more, right, they're educated, and the more they realize that it really is going to be up to their generation to solve these problems, and that what we do today matters, is just something that is really quite overwhelming, like big numbers, like anywhere from 50 to 65% of respondents say it's an extreme worry. So like the highest level of worry for them. And I see it in my therapy practice as well.
Sure. Oh, that's interesting. So you have people coming in and talking about it as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's, top of mind, and you're looking around, and we're already living through some of the changes, and that's a lot for young adults to be thinking about. Well, thank you. I think those resources are going to be so helpful for families to be able to use. Thanks so much.
Thank you.